Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to our second virtual presentation, Understanding the Chinese Market. Essentially, this is the first module for Asian business environment. China, with its $10 trillion economy, growing at an impressive 7% annually, wields unprecedented influence on the global stage. On the past 3 decades, the Chinese government has alternately opened wide its doors to foreign companies seeking to participate in its domestic economic growth and firmly shut those doors at the same time. While some global leaders have turned China into their single largest source of profits, others, especially in service sectors, have faced challenges in capturing a meaningful share of revenue or profits. Before we proceed, let's put ourselves in the holy presence of the Lord.
Pamigim langit Sikoy kong pamigim Aldaw ay bula Ikaw ang nabuhat sa kapitunan Ikaw ang nabuhat sa kalibutan Manama, mabantog ka Warapo ko iling ko O Diyos, kahibulungan ka Busa ikaw lang ang simbahon ko Manama, nabantog ka Warapo ko iling ko O Diyos, kahibulungan ka Busa ikaw lang ang simbahon ko Busa ikaw lang ang alagaran ko
Amen. For today, we are going to attempt to talk about the following topics in navigating business in China. We're going to talk about business regulations, business culture, entering the market, uh, the Chinese market, leveraging on the digital ecosystem. Um, let's talk about a little bit of business risks in China, adapting marketing strategies for China, doing business in China today, and building strong business relationships in China, unlocking the business potential with China. Okay, business regulations in China. We are going to focus on three topics: foreign investment laws, intellectual property protection, and labor regulations. So, the Foreign Investment Law of the People Republics of China. So this law was effective since January 1, 2020. It aims to expand opening up, promote foreign investment, and protect the rights of foreign investors. So the key provisions of this law are basically, firstly, it covers foreign investment within China, including establishing foreign funded enterprises, acquiring shares, initiating new projects, and other investment methods. The state encourages foreign investors to invest in China by implementing high level investment liberalization policies. The law ensures that legitimate rights and interests of foreign investors are protected. It establishes mechanisms for promoting foreign investment and creating a transparent market environment. In fact, Article 32 of the Foreign Investment Law emphasizes foreign invested enterprises must follow labor protection laws and social insurance provisions. Compliance with taxation, accounting, and foreign exchange regulations is also mandatory. On IP protection, Article 23 of the Foreign Investment Law requires Chinese administrative organs and their employees to keep confidential all trade secrets of foreign investors and foreign invested enterprises. So, this provision enhances protection for trade secrets. IP or intellectual property remains a significant concern for foreign businesses operating in China. Understanding local laws and registration procedures is important to safeguard intellectual property rights. On labor laws or regulations, foreign invested enterprises must adhere to laws and regulations related to labor protection. This would include ensuring fair treatment, safe working conditions, and adherence to labor rights of any laborers, foreign or locals. Also, compliance with social insurance requirements is mandatory. Employers must handle taxation, accounting, other matters in accordance with relevant laws and state provisions. Foreign invested enterprises are subject to oversight and inspections by relevant competent departments. So when we navigate business regulations in China, I think this is the most important thing when we are considering doing business in China. China's business landscape offers opportunities but requires careful navigation. Staying informed about legal frameworks and adapting to local practices is very important for successful business operations in China in the 21st century. Now let's talk about business culture in China. We're going to focus on three things: respect for hierarchy, importance for cultural norms, and emphasis on Guanzi. In Chinese culture, both in business and daily life, hierarchy is highly respected. When entering or leaving a room, for example, people usually follow a hierarchical order. It's considered polite to let others enter or leave the room before oneself. Decision making involves consultation with higher ups, and their authority is deeply respected. Unlike Western cultures, in the West, they encourage open collaboration. Chinese business culture values deference to seniority and to authority. Chinese business attire is formal, reflecting respect for the workplace. Dressing appropriately demonstrates professionalism and cultural awareness. Colors hold significance in business culture in China. For example, wearing a green hat is taboo because it symbolizes infidelity. Another one is wearing white, which is associated with funerals, so it is best avoided in business settings. Chinese companies often communicate indirectly, relying on context and subtleties. This complexity contrasts with Western firms that value directness and clarity. Understanding the indirect nature of Chinese communication is crucial for successful interactions with local Chinese business suppliers or even customers. Bargaining is common in China. Failing to negotiate prices might be perceived as a weakness. Disagreements are not always expressed explicitly because harmony is prioritized over confrontation. Mandarin is spoken by over 70% of China's population, so learning basic Mandarin phrases can enhance communication. For business success, localize your website, social media presence, and marketing materials to resonate with the Chinese audience. What is Guanzi? Guanzi emphasizes relationships and their influence on decision making. It's about building trust and loyalty. Business partners voluntarily offer favors, expecting reciprocity later on. Nurturing Guanzi is essential for long lasting relationships. Okay, entering the Chinese market, what can we have as strategies? So we'll divide strategies into five. Regional approach, evaluate partners carefully, understand local regulations, intellectual property protection, and localized content and presence. Okay, given China's vast size, very big, consider breaking down the market into geographical segments. Focus on specific regions or cities where you can find experienced business people dealing with foreign companies. First tier cities like Beijing, Shanghai, and Guangzhou are excellent starting points. Partners. Finding the right local partner is crucial for success. Agents, distributors, or partners with essential local knowledge and contacts can provide valuable insights. Consider partnering with people specializing in specific industry segments, as they often have links to state owned enterprises or SOEs and private companies. Local regulations. Chinese government officials play a significant role in the economy. We have to understand how your product or service is regulated and which agencies are involved. We always seek legal advice and conduct due diligence on potential partners before any transaction. Property protection. Proactively protect intellectual property rights, of course, under the PRC law. Always attempt or try to consult with specialized lawyers knowledgeable in this area. Conduct thorough due diligence on partners or buyers on their reputation with regards to intellectual property protection. On content and presence, establish a presence in key cities and regions. Create localized content that resonates with Chinese consumers. Adapt marketing and communication strategies that is aligning to cultural norms, specifically highlighting the importance of the localized norms, business, and culture. On leveraging China's digital ecosystem, let's have four topics about this: e-commerce market, uh, mobile payments dominance, emphasis on digital marketing, and of course, examples on key platforms Alibaba and WeChat. On first, Chinese e-commerce market has experienced explosive growth, as we have seen and it's talked about in the news every day. It's driven by increased internet penetration, rising consumer confidence, and changing shopping habits. Platforms like Alibaba's Taobao and Tmall, JD.com, and Pinduoduo dominate online retail. On digital marketing, it is an integral part to reaching Chinese consumers. Social media, search engines, and influencers play a very crucial role. Brands invest in targeted online campaigns to engage and convert customers. On mobile payment dominance, mobile payment platforms, for example, Alipay, WeChat Pay, are ubiquitous. They are all over the place, small or large or medium. QR codes facilitate seamless transactions in stores, restaurants, and online. Cashless payments is very normal, even for small purchases. Key platforms. E-commerce giant like Alibaba, with platforms like Taobao, which is a C2C e-commerce platform, and Tmall, which is a B2C platform. Another super app combining messaging, social media, and mobile payments is WeChat. So both platforms, Alibaba and WeChat, shape consumer behavior and drive business growth. Okay. Now let's talk about the risks, some of the risks in China. We know that there are financial, business, operational, and hazardous risks in terms of business risks. So we have studied that in our financial courses or finance and accounting courses. But we'll just have three business risks that we have to face when we are navigating business in China. Firstly, political stability. Okay, frequent policy changes and ambiguous regulations can impact business operations on a daily basis. Companies must navigate local laws, licensing requirements, and government approvals. China's relations with other countries can create uncertainty. Trade disputes, sanctions, and geopolitical events may affect business stability. On cybersecurity threats, this is a thing nowadays. There are a lot of companies offering cybersecurity protection for companies in addition to their IT security platforms installed in their companies. So China has issued numerous national standards related to cybersecurity. Compliance can be challenging for foreign firms, especially when sensitive intellectual property and source code are required for verification and testing. Companies may face pressure to undergo invasive product reviews, potentially compromising IP and security. Chinese companies may have fewer concerns about sharing sensitive information with the government, giving them a competitive advantage. On supply chain disruption, which is considered another business risk in China, relying heavily on Chinese manufacturers poses risks, delays, cancellations, and localized disruptions. For example, there are some pandemic or any illnesses that is going on in that locality can impact supply chains. China's dominance in global supply chains means disruptions, uh, and it can reverberate globally. It affects just like what happened recently in the COVID-19 pandemic. Meeting Chinese standards and certifications may be necessary for doing business. However, it adds cost and complexity in our business operations. Okay, let's navigate business in China. Um, I think we've been talking a lot about local government ties, positive stakeholder relationship, and understanding regulations and laws and complexities of these. Okay, let's talk about importance of language and branding, understanding consumer behavior, and localization of marketing strategies. Okay, marketing strategies. China's rich history, diverse traditions, and distinct cultural norms shape consumer preferences. Successful marketing requires tailoring strategies to resonate with local tastes, values, and aesthetics. Adjusting product names, packaging, and promotional messages, aligning with the Chinese culture. Chinese consumer behavior. Chinese consumers prioritize family, community, and group harmony. Brands emphasizing social connections, they thrive. Maintaining face or social reputation is very, very significant. Brands that enhance status or prestige are favored. Chinese consumers are tech savvy. They rely heavily on mobile apps, social media, and e commerce platforms. On language and branding, Mandarin is essential for effective communication. Brands using Mandarin or localized dialects connect better. Chinese consumers associate brands with values, trust, and authenticity. Consistent branding builds recognition. Brands that tell compelling stories resonate deeply. Cultural narratives enhance brand appeal. Okay. Okay, doing business in China today, it presents both immense opportunities and unique challenges. Just like what I have mentioned at the beginning, China, with its $10 trillion economy growing at 7% annually, is a never before seen force reshaping our global economy. Over the past 30 years, the Chinese government has alternately opened the door wide for foreign companies to participate in its domestic economic growth and kept it firmly closed. While some global leaders have turned China into their single largest source of profits, others, especially in the service sectors, have faced challenges in capturing a meaningful share of revenue or profits. Some trends in China's economic growth. Um, okay, all right. The Chinese government's policies significantly impact business behavior. Initiatives like market marketing of the prices for utilities and enhancing productivity with state-owned enterprises are transforming the business landscape. Bringing more private capital into state-owned enterprises is gaining momentum at the city level. The rising Chinese middle class is important consideration for economic growth. Their confidence in their personal economic future drives spending and fuels growth. In 2022, over 50% of urban households are projected middle class. Regulatory complexities, intellectual property protection, and geopolitical factors poses risks. Industries such as automotive and services benefit by capturing profits and uh, requiring strategic adaptation. Okay, China's vast consumer base offers immense market opportunities. The middle class is growing. There is urbanization. E-commerce and digital platforms provide access to millions of potential customers. However, we have to at the same time understand the Chinese culture, etiquette, and communication styles. We have to clearly be able to navigate China's ever changing regulations, and it can be daunting. We have to safeguard at the same time intellectual property, which until now remains a challenge. Okay, what else? Building strong business relationships in China. Okay, rapport. We have to invest time in building personal relationship. Face-to-face interaction matter. We have to seek win-win scenarios, understand what value we bring to the table. In the Chinese business, honesty, transparency, reliability, integrity are essential for long-term success. Okay. What else? By 2030, China's middle class and affluent population will increase by 80 million. So this segment, nearing 40% of the total population, becomes a source for long-term resilience for the Chinese consumer market. Lower tier cities play an increasingly important role in its growth. On consumer behavior, okay, on understanding consumer behavior, Chinese consumers heavily rely on mobile technology for e-commerce and digital transactions. Social networking platforms such as WeChat, Sina Weibo, and Douyin shaped the e-commerce and digital landscape. So even during challenging years, Chinese consumers show a strong desire to trade up and pay a premium for quality across product categories. E-commerce, China's population structure is changing with implications for consumer preferences, consumption attitudes vary based on birth year and socioeconomic factors. As what I have mentioned earlier, platforms like Alibaba, JD.com, and social commerce drive digital transactions. Okay, business must adapt to evolving consumer preferences, leverage digital platforms, and align with regulatory changes to unlock China's vast business potential. Okay, please take note of additional readings that are included in the academic calendar. This is in Module 0 of our course, Asian Business Environment. And also the reading for Module 1, the title is The Buddhist and Christian Perspectives on Business Ethics in Leading Chinese Business Practices. It's a very good read that can augment our module for understanding business in the Chinese market. These are some of the references. If you have any question, let me just... Okay, you have a copy of this in the virtual presentation module. Okay. And if you have any question, please send me an email on the question with regards to this presentation. Okay. Please ensure that you are coordinating with your team member in preparation for Project 2. Project 2 instruction is uh, well detailed in a dedicated module. Scroll down towards the end of the CEU Leaps. You have the Project 2 instructions there and how you are marked in terms of rubric and score sheets. And with that, I'll say see you in the next virtual meeting. Have a blessed weekend and take care of yourselves. Goodbye.